Alfred Packer was born on November 21, 1842. When the Civil War broke out, he was 19 years old. He enlisted in the 16th U.S. Infantry, but was honorably discharged due to his epilepsy. He later tried to rejoin U.S. Infantry, but was quickly turned down due to his epilepsy once again. After that, he headed west and picked up a few random jobs in the mining camps. But this is not what makes Alfred Packer special to the history of Colorado. Alfred Packer's real story begins in 1873, where he and a group of 20 other prospectors left Bingham Canyon, Utah, to head for the San Juan Mountains in Colorado. It was a very harsh winter that year, and they only made it as far as Chief Ouray's Ute Indian Camp in Dry Creek, which was only about 2 miles away from Delta. This was in January of 1874. Because of the harsh weather, the Ute Indians told them to stay at their camp and not continue on their journey, but 5 of the prospectors didn't want to wait for the weather to improve.
You leaving? You crazy too!
Well, that gold can't wait for us any longer.
These 5 men were Israel Swan, James Humphrey, Wilson Bell, Frank Miller, and George Noon. They hired Alfred Packer to be their guide as they trekked on through the Los Pinos Indian Agency on Cochetopa Creek between Sawatch and Gunnison. So on February 9, 1874, Alfred Packer and the 5 other men left Chief Ouray's campsite, only carrying a total of 10 days' supply of food with them. While on their journey through the San Juan Mountains, the weather increasingly got worse, trapping them in the mountains near Lake City, and they soon ran out of food. In April of 1874, to everyone's surprise, Alfred Packer emerged from the mountains, completely alone, looking like he hadn't been starving and freezing in the mountains for 10 weeks. He told stories to anyone who asked about where his party had gone, saying things like he injured his leg and stayed behind while they carried on with the journey. But the odd thing was, witnesses saw that Alfred Packer had a few wallets on him, each containing rolls of money. No one knew what to believe of his stories at this point. A month later, on May 8th, Alfred Packer gave his first confessions to General Charles Adams at Los Pinos. He stated that Israel Swan had died one day, and he and the rest of the party ate pieces of him to survive before they continued on with their journey through the mountains. He also said that 4 or 5 days later, James Humphrey died, and they ate him also. A few days after that, Alfred Packer said that he came back to their campsite after looking for some firewood to find Frank Miller dead, and the other 2 members of the party sitting around the campfire and indulging in him. Alfred Packer joined in. After a few more days, he claimed that while he was out hunting for food, Bell killed Noon. Afterwards, according to Alfred Packer, Bell tried to kill him too, but the 2 of them got into a fight, resulting in Packer killing Bell. This confession caused Alfred Packer to be forced to lead a search party for the bodies of the other prospectors, but he led them to the wrong place, which resulted in them not finding any evidence. Because of this, Alfred Packer was arrested and thrown into the Sawatch jail. In August of 1874, Alfred Packer broke out of the Sawatch jail shortly after Harper's Weekly magazine artist named John Randolph found the bodies of the prospectors and discovered that 2 of the bodies had pieces of flesh cut off of them. After breaking free from jail, Alfred Packer hid out in Fort Fetterman, Wyoming under the name John Schwartz, until a member from his original prospecting party, Frenchy Cabazon, recognized him and turned him into the police, where he was arrested and sent back to Lake City for a trial. On March 16, 1883, Alfred Packer gave General Charles Adams a second confession. He said that one day Swan told him to go up on a mountain to try to find a trail, and when Alfred Packer came back down from the mountain, he found Bell sitting by the fire roasting a piece of meat from Miller's leg. He said that Bell then picked up a hatchet and came after him, so in self-defense, Alfred Packer shot him through the stomach and hit Bell on top of the head with the hatchet to finish him off. He said that after that, he tried to leave the campsite, but the snow was so deep that he was stuck there, so he continued eating bits of his prospectors' party every day to survive. After this gruesome confession, his trial began on April 6, 1883, at the Hinsdale County Courthouse in Lake City. He only admitted to killing Wilson Bell in self-defense and to eating Bell and Miller to survive. Alfred Packer was sentenced to be hanged on May 19, 1883. Through the help of Denver Post writer Polly Pry, Alfred Packer avoided hanging and won the right to a new trial in Gunnison, Colorado. The Colorado Supreme Court then overturned his murder conviction, saying that since he committed the crime while Colorado was still just a territory, he technically didn't commit a crime because there wasn't any murder statute in 1874, since Colorado didn't become a state until 1876. Even then, he got charged with 5 counts of manslaughter and 40 years in prison. They let go of the cannibalism convictions because emergency cannibalism was apparently really common in the West during that time, so the judge wanted to use Alfred Packer as an example of that. Due to illness, Alfred Packer was released from prison in 1901. He took a job guarding at the Denver Post and later moved to Jefferson County, where he spent the rest of his life until he died from a stroke on April 24, 1907. This is the story of Alfred Packer, the Colorado cannibal.
Shpadoinkle!